All right, what's up everybody? All right, so I just want to make a quick video. I'm trying to update the speaker system in the 66 Convertible today. One of the ways to actually make that happen is you have to drop the top to access the speaker that's going to be under this cover right here, the speaker cover. So then what we have to do is actually remove the seats first. For those who's not familiar with removing the seats, it's not that much to it, but it can get tricky if it's your first time, where you actually have to push the seat kind of back and then lift at the same time to unlatch it. And then it's gonna come up that way. And then I'm gonna go ahead and remove these seats. All right, yeah, so once you go ahead and remove that bottom seat, then holding up this back part of the seat is gonna be just two, try to see if I get a picture of it. But it's gonna be two bolts to actually hold this back seat in. So once you remove those two bolts, then you'll be able to drop the back cushion down from the car itself. All right, cool. So now we got the back portion of the seat out of the vehicle. One of the things you're gonna have to do more than likely is actually open up the other door too, so it can slide out and not hit your armrest that's on the driver's side rear door. Also, for those who might not know, if you ever need to access your relays for the windows, your drop down relays and stuff like that for your windows, it's going to be actually behind this metal panel right here, which is just a couple of bolts. Let me see, to actually remove. It's nothing, you can kind of see it's two right there to the other side. That's how you actually access the relays. But the purpose of this one today is to replace the speaker. So as you can tell, not that much more to it, where I have a screw right there, some screws along here that have to be removed. Once I remove those, I should be able to take this cover off to have access to the speaker, and let's see what happens. All right, yeah, so once you get everything, all the screws off in the front or whatnot, then you do have to lift the top up a little bit, be able to access the screws that's located in the back. And then let's see. And then once you do that, then you have access to the radio located on the bottom. And that's pretty much gonna be it. So at the bottom of the cover itself, you're gonna need to remove these bolts. I guess nuts from off the bolts. Once you remove the nuts off the bolts, then we'll be able to remove this casing that's holding the speakers. I was going on, everybody. So I just want to give y'all a quick measurement on the speaker size, the original speaker size that come in at least the 1966 Lincoln Continental Convertible. Again, there's only one speaker in the back of the convertible, and a lot of conversation has taken place about what size speaker you need. So I'll just go ahead and measure it here and just kind of add it to the video for those who are curious. It's going to be about 10 inches in width, and I think it's about, let me make sure I get this accurate. Trying to record and do this at the same time. About 4 1/4 in length. So the speakers I installed were actually the 5x7s. Honestly, it was a little bit too small. But the problem is that the length itself is a little bit wider than the original one. That you can tell, this is a little bit slim. So it might be hard trying to fit like a newer style speaker in the Lincoln Continental 66 at least, but at least now you have the measurements if you are trying to do research on what size speaker need to go in it. All right, so you can see I got everything back together. Pretty much, it ain't that much of a big job. It's pretty simple. It's not too labor intensive, as well as pretty much not gonna take that long to do it. I'll give yourself, if anything, maybe about an hour max to do it. I mean, that's including the installation and replacement of the speaker, putting everything together. You might not even need an hour, but just give yourself at least an hour to probably do the whole installment and removal of the seats and the speakers itself. And that's a wrap. Let me know if you got any questions.